Guys, welcome to 10-2. And for today, it's going to be more about making your own line plots using data. Okay, making your own line plots using data. So it's going to be a little bit simpler. Well, I think it's simple, but for you, the information is going to be given to you, the data is going to be given to you, and you have to put together a line plot. So let's just take, for example, let's just say this is our data. Okay, I'm just going to list it. Okay, 1/2, 3/4, 3/4, 1, 1, 0, 1/2. Make my column a little bit better. 1/2 and 3/4. Okay, so this is the data. All right, and we don't know what it's for. It doesn't really matter. We won't have to actually label anything. But if we come up with now we have to take the data and place it on a line plot. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see what I have. Okay, the smallest number that I have is what I'm going to put all the way to the left here. Okay, and that's the 0. Okay, that's the smallest number that I have. All right, the largest number that I have is the 1. And in between, I have 1/4. Well, I don't have any 1/4, but I have 3/4 and I have a half. So I know that a half goes in the middle. I know that 3/4 goes here. Now I'm going to put 1/4 just because that helps it stay balanced and look a little bit more normal. Okay, but we're just now going to plot the information. And as we plot the information, we're just going to X it off. Okay, so I'm going to put an X for everything and I'm going to cross it off. Okay, so I have 1/2. So I'm going to put my X here. I have 3/4. Put my X here. I have 3/4. Put my X there. I have 1. Put the X there. I have 1. Put the X there. I have 0. Put the X there. I have 1/2. Put the X there. I have 1/2. Put the X there. And I have 3/4. We made a line plot. We don't know what it's for. We don't know what the data. It could be anything. But we know that there's one person that has 0 of, let's say, pets. Well, I can't say pets because you can't have half a pet. But let's say if it's pizza. There's one kid that had no pizza. There are 3 kids that had half a slice. There are 3 kids that had 3/4 of a slice, and there's 2 kids that had 1 whole. Okay, so rather simple. I'll do one more for you that may be a little bit more difficult to understand. And I'm going to kind of show you what would you do if you had a lot of information. So let's just say this is your data. Okay, 1 1/8, 2, 1 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 1/8, 1, 2. These are commas, sorry. 1 1/2, 1 1/4. Now, you could realistically list all the parts that have nothing in it, like I did with the 1/4, but I'm just going to list them. And the most important thing we're going to do is we're going to list them in order. Okay, we're going to list them in order. All right. Let's go from the smallest number that we have. The smallest number that we have is 1. Okay, hope everybody notices that. 1. The largest number that we have is going to be the 2. All right, now between 1 and 2, I have something that's broken up into my denominator I can see is 8ths. So I'm going to break it up into 8ths. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is 1 1/8. This is 1 2/8. 1 3/8. 1 4/8. 1 5/8. 1 6/8. 1 7/8. Okay, and just like we did in the last one, just going to plot the data. For 1 1/8, I have 1. For 2, I'm going to put that there. For 1 1/2, 1 1/2 is also equal to 1 4/8. So I'm going to put that there. 1 1/4 is the same as 1 2/8. Okay, you got to remember your equivalent fractions. 1 1/8 here. 1, 2, 1.5 is the same as 1 4/8, and 1 1/4 is the same as 1 2/8. Okay, again, that's all you have to do. It's just you're listing your information and you're plotting it along the data. Relatively simple. Okay, relatively simple. All right, but you know how to get in touch with us if you need any help. We'll be practicing with this. The next 2 lessons are just more about interpreting line plots. Okay, so we'll practice. So don't panic if you feel like you're not understanding it just yet. All right, you know how to get in touch with us. Talk to you soon, guys.